Dorime, interimo ad pare dorime, ameno, ameno, latiremo, dorime. Greetings, hotties. You have come into, wait, let's get the church music on. Welcome, hotties. It is I, Sister Bossy. Welcome to this place of refuge. I hope that your week has been restful and your cups have been full. Welcome in. Today, we will be taking confession. That's right, the most holy sacrament. I will be taking your confessions. I will be hearing them and sending them on to the Lord in the sky. That's right. All of your evil doings will be here on display today, and you will be either absolved of your sin or sent straight to hell. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh, hold on. Your chat boxes are all messed up, my lambs. It seems they've been... there we go. Now I can finally see you. I apologize. I spend my days bent over manuscripts. It's hard to see small things. Welcome in, everyone. Hello. Hello, Patchy. Hello, Captain B.A. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Ferrantis. Hello, Slushy. Hello, Sokido. Hello, Dr. Frederick. Hello, Kano. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Johnny. Over in the other field of lambs. Hello, Buck. Hello, Sleepy. Hello, Ta. Hello, Sa. Your names rhyme. You're like twins. Ta and Sa. Hello, Rion. Hello, Phidias. Hello, Dranlia. Hello, Lemuru. Hello, Carmo. Hello, Soul Striker. Hello, Captain B.A. Hello, Shadowman. Hello, Bap. Hello, Powhatan. Hello, Onion Hat. Hello, Max. Hello, Watt. Hello, Mr. Uncle. Greetings, Radio. Greetings, Top Gear. Hello, David. Hello, Sora. Hello, Grant. Hello, Chuni. Hello, Gulatil. Have I missed anyone? Raise your hand if you're sitting in the pews. Raise your hand. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Ken. Welcome in. Hello, Jacob. Hello, Capybara. Hello, Rion. Hello, Ziv. Greetings. Greetings, Evie. Welcome in. Hello, Novikov. Hello, Francis. Who is first today? Who is first in the church? Mr. Uncle. Hello, greetings. Thank you for being first. Thank you for being so devoted to the Lord. Welcome in. Hello, Sid. Hello, Laser. Hello, Shawnee. Hello, Potato. Why am I British? Hello, Starsky. Hello, Ryu. Greetings. Greetings, my lambs. Mother Posterior? I don't know if that's my proper title. I'll have you know that there's a cat of nine tails just off screen, so if you misbehave, you're going to get whipped within an inch of your life. This is a holy house. Behave yourselves. Hello, Sobato. Welcome in. Hello, Rapscallion. Hello, Muff Jedi. Thank you for the first time chat. Hail, Moon, in nomine Patre et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Welcome in. You as well. Hello, Jester. Good guacamole, good crunchy even. What does that mean? Is that a different language? I only know the language of God and the angels. Hello, Spaghetti. Hello, Ricehill. I hope you are well as well. Hello, everyone. I've turned the redeems off. I've turned those redeems are simply unholy. This is a house of worship. This is a house of confessions. There will be no redeems. Trading points in order to be saved? No, we got rid of that tradition a long time ago. No, there will be no mercantilism in this house of the Lord. Hello, Ethan. Hello, Wolfwood. Welcome in. Eternal damnation. You're excited for it, Chuni. Well, I'm going to decide whether or not you're eternally damned. Don't jump the gun now. Don't jump the horse. Hi, Simply. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Hi, Erwan. Hello. Welcome. Confessions in the Guacamole. What does that mean? Is that one of your newfangled music albums you kids are always listening to? I'm afraid there are people who would be into that. What does that mean, Sleepy? Please don't explain. This is a house of the Lord. Please don't. Please keep it to yourself, actually. I've changed my mind. Boss isn't sure about this religion thing, but the part where she passes judgment. Yes, I'm very good at passing judgment. Religion is a very personal thing, shall we say. But judgment, now that is something that everyone does on the internet for free all the time. Sometimes without anyone asking them to. And today we're going to be doing that wholesale. Just kidding, there's no sale. Again, this is a house of the Lord. We're not exchanging points or coins for services. We got rid of that many years ago. Hello, Mika, welcome in. No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. This is a place of respite. Subaru, thank you very much for the 5 Bossymoon gift memberships. This will not change your outcome. I hope you know that. Sorry, the alerts were a bit wonky there. Must be the influence of the devil. I hope you know that will not change your outcome, whether or not you're going to hell or heaven. Bribing the nun will simply not do any good. Carmo, thank you for the 2. 1 indulgence, please. Wrong. No, it's a little more expensive than that. I mean, what? We don't do that anymore. Hello, Fructose. Welcome in. How are you today? Hello, Toe. How are you today? It's good to see you. Truth and judgment. Yes, indeed. Truth and judgment are sometimes not one and the same. Sometimes judgment, I believe, comes from a place of bias. So today I will try to remain absolutely free of bias. It is tough, but it is difficult. But for my Lord, I will persevere. Yes, do not bribe a woman of the Lord, for shame, in front of so many eyes. Hello, Sandwich, welcome in. Hello, H-Man. How much more expensive? Don't worry about it. Hi, Hat, welcome in. Can we bribe the devil? No. The devil does not like bribes. He's the one, he likes taking it for free, unfortunately. Hello, Rapskellion. Hello, Slushy. May I share? No. So the confessions have already come in. If you did not submit your confessions in the confessional box on Saturday night, that was the deadline, I will not be reading your confessions on stream. So these confessions have already been approved by myself to share with the general public. Some of them are a little bit more personal, so we're not going to be sharing that in front of an audience. That is something you can do privately. But the ones that I have handpicked are quite good. They're full of sin, and I'm very excited, very eager to send them all to hell. I mean, judge accordingly. Yes, that's what I meant. Yes. Sending a confession is sin? No. If you didn't send a confession, that's fine. That's all right. Yes, pre-vetted confessions, Harmit. Exactly. I have been saying all week up until this stream, I have been reminding you guys all week to send in your confessions to my marshmallow. So if you didn't, you did not follow orders. And that is a sin in the eyes of the Lord. Disobedient hotties, thinking you could come into the confession stream and just say one off the cuff. Disobedient, I say. You did not follow instructions. So thank you for the 2 super. Tithes for the Blue Moon Wolf Church. Indeed, thank you very much. Thank you for tithing. I will accept a tithe. Indulgences are not allowed. But tithes, very much so. Hello, turkeys. Hello, Mako. Welcome in. Hello, Riplanded. How are you today? Happy Sunday. Burned to the stake they are. Well, we will decide the punishment eventually, Cookie. Do not worry. Every punishment will be unique to the confession, shall we say. If I punch the Blue Moon, can I have my sins absolved? No. No, not even that. Even if you manage to kill the Blue Moon hotties, no. No, I must deal the killing blow. You cannot steal that from me. Hello, Alex. Bossy sends them to God, who then sends them to hell, so Bossy's just here to help the process. Precisely. I am the judge, but I am not the jury, and I am not the executioner. You are the jury. The executioner is God. I am simply the messenger. I am simply the go-between. Stursky, thank you for the 5 super. My offerings to the church. Thank you for the tithe. Bless you. Happy Sunday, Jacob. No, you may not be whipped. You want to be whipped cream? I don't have any of that. I'm sorry. It's Sunday. I'm not supposed to eat. I'm not supposed to indulge in sugar on Sundays. Ghost, thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate that. I have a lovely cup of tea here. I will be sipping. Welcome in, everyone. How are we today? Take a seat in the pew. Get comfortable. Yeah, sit down. Hello, Papa Nurgle. Can I have a steak? No. Papa Nurgle, I'm surprised you didn't burst into flames the moment you stepped into this church. You're disguising yourself quite well. You're not oozing so much today. It's good to see you. Hello, Nopon. Quite presumptuous, dear Lady of Judgment. Presumptuous of what, Nopon? Dude, thank you so much for becoming a moon puncher for 5 months. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much. Feel free to take a seat. Love the nun habit. What habit? This will not become a habit. This is a one-day thing. Thank you so much. Hello, Neno. Welcome in. Please take a seat at the pew. Shall we get started, hotties? Now, for every confession, I am the judge. You are the jury. So for every confession, I will give my judgment, and the hotties may give their judgment as jury, as fellow peers beneath the eyes of the Lord. You will be giving your judgment as well. TJ, thank you so much for becoming a member for 1 month. I really appreciate that. I didn't have any confessions, but I hope the stream goes well. Thank you. What stream? We're in a holy house. What stream? Thank you very much. Arigato. All right, everyone sit down. Quiet now. Quiet now. Stop playing with your cell phones. Stop. Is that Fruit Ninja I see? Is that Fruit Ninja? Turn that off. Turn that off. Before I dunk that in the holy water bowl. Thank you. No Cookie Run Kingdom. I hate that even more. All right. Our very first confession today, hotties. Let us step into the booth and begin. I used the wizard's tower in Oblivion to make a flame Atronach companion so that I can have some eye cake to keep me company as go into Hellgates. Also, I am a dark elf that has reached 100% fire resistance for the meme, I swear. Now, hotties, I have a confession of my own to make here. I do not know what this means. Can you translate for me? Can you translate? Some of this is not quite, shall we say, in English. While you translate, I will begin the poll so that you may judge this sinner. Poll. Let me start another one. Yes or no, hotties? Judge away. You are the jury, after all. You will be judged, if you have confessed, you will be judged by a jury of your peers. I feel like that's only fair. He summoned a fair demon to stare at its dump truck. Oh, is that it, Max? Oh, goodness. Goodness me. Have you seen the flame Atronach? I think I have, Ghost. I think I have. I didn't know it was a demon. I did the same thing. Okay, so there's many sinners. I see there's many sinners in this church today. All right, well, you should have confessed then. You should have confessed, and then you would be cleansed of your sin if you confessed, hotties, but you didn't. Only this person confessed. Only they are worthy in the eyes of our Lord, Todd Howard. Thy sin was poor sentence structure. Indeed, yes. Thy sin was not spell checking. A deep sin indeed, especially in this era of automatic spell check. It seems, hotties, that you have decided they are not guilty. Oh no, they are guilty. Let me check the other poll. Yes, very guilty. 60% guilty. My judgment is that if thine thou'st has summoned a demon, to stare at it while you play a game. May I ask one question here? Why? Are video games not already demons in and of themselves? Are video games not already demons? Did you not already create a character with a dump truck so juicy that did you not choose a female character? Why summon a demon and go against the Lord's word when you could just create a character on the character creation screen with a very large dumpy? And then you just have one all the time. I don't understand. Are you telling me you play males? You choose the male option in the character creator on the video game in 2025? Interesting. I will say that you are going straight to hell. Hell for summoning demons. Hell Fire and brimstone for thee! It has been done. It has been spoken. And so it shall be. Ramen. Confession number 2. I've held this in for ages, so here I go. I am here today before our benevolent Bossy to confess my sins against the sanctity of food and all the great chef saints. I don't think there's a chef saint. Maybe there is. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I know there's the gourmand in Skyrim. I care not for rare steak. You're confessing this to a wolf? It is a slab of meat in the eyes of this poor sinner, not a succulent meal, but a block of protein. Wrong. Any time I am to cook the meat of a bovine, I prepare it any number of ways, but never do I cook it rare for my own meals. Smoked, braised, stir-fried, sous vide to medium with garlic and herbs, then pan-roasted. Okay, so you had to boast. You had to throw in a little boast there about all the ways you know how to cook steak. Prideful. Sinful. All ways in which I enjoy the meat of the cow, and yet I bite my own tongue when presented with rare, or God forbid, blue. Steak is not blue, it's red. Open your eyes. Open your eyes, and let God cleanse your eyeballs. You almost made me swear. It's red. You might want to go to the eye doctor and get checked. It's red. It's always red. The texture melts not in my mouth, but feel as though I have swiped a fish from the river and gnawed into its flesh whilst wiggling. It sounds as if you have experience with that, sinner. Do you have experience with eating raw fish from a riverbank? Like Gollum? I am a lover of foods of all places, yet the glory of rare steak is lost on me. Judge me now, Bossy, and tell me if a hottie like me can still enter the pearly gates, or am I fit only for the lands of Oblivion? Also, I hate ketchup. Hotties. I ask you now, judge this poor sinner. Judge this poor sinner. Judge him. He likes not rare steak. He loves well-cooked steak. He wants no hint of pink in his steak. Or their steak, I should say. We have a 2% female audience, so I should start saying they. We don't know. They do not like any pink in their meat, hotties. If they go to Outback Steakhouse, they ask for char. So let me get this straight, Cindy. You go to Outback Steakhouse, you look the waitress dead in the eye, and you say, "I would like a brown lump, please." Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what you're saying, sinner? Are you saying you force other people to do culinary crimes when you go out to eat? These people do not get paid enough to waste a good steak just for you. You understand that, right? I sure hope you're tipping at least 150% for the crime that you're asking them to commit. In the culinary world, they could get their licenses revoked. For you? For a $45 steak at Outback Steakhouse plus a blooming onion? What is your verdict, hotties? What is your verdict? He wants his steak crunchy. Send him. Send him. You already know, hotties. You can hear it in my voice. 55% of you, hotties, have said that this person is a sinner. 55% of you have said this is a sinner. That cow didn't die to just be burnt. It's true. This is a crime worse than red rum. I have to agree. I'm inclined to agree with that statement. May his steak be cooked well done, and heck, amen. Hotties? 56% of you have said that this person is a sinner. And thus I have made my decision. The judgment is hell. Go straight to hell where you belong. Enjoy the flames. I hope your steak is cooked to a crisp. In hell! In hell may your steak be cooked. There's plenty of flames for your kind in there. Ramen. I think we are judging correctly, Hotties. I think we are making good progress. I think we are purifying and absolving the sins of all of those who have come before us, all of those who have begged for forgiveness in my inbox today. I think we are doing a lovely job of absolving them, sending them to their right place. It feels good, doesn't it, Hotties? That's right. Embrace the cold hammer of judgment. Embrace the cold hammer of indiscriminate judgment. Feel the coolness on your skin as you grasp it. Your hand icing over as your heart does. He's going straight to Hell's Kitchen, very true. He's in Hell's Kitchen now where they belong. Marinated in ketchup. No, they don't like ketchup. That's a sin as well. Hello, Finn. Welcome in. How are you today? Hello, Plumbo. Hello, everyone I didn't greet. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Welcome to our judgment-free zone. Just kidding. That was a lie. I sinned. I've sinned, Hotties. Oh, no. I was a lie. That was also a demonstration on what to do when you sin, Hotties. It's to immediately admit that you've sinned. And Todd will forgive you. That was a little demonstration. The lamb sauce will never be found. What lamb sauce, Hermit? What lamb? We're not serving lamb. That's on Easter. All hail the Inquisition. Hello, Shrike. Welcome in. What Inquisition? Those aren't expected around here. They'll never expect it. This is not an inquisition. This is a fair, honest, gentle judgment of every little thing you say or do. That's not an inquisition. This is not torture. This is voluntary submission to your Lord and to me. This is a church, nothing but judgment here. No, Papa. This is... No, Papa Nurgle. No, you don't understand. This is fair and just. I said what I said. My soul is free. You're now in hell. Yes, your soul is free in hell. Free to run about on the coals. Free to run around with the sinners, the other sinners. I'm thinking of Dante's Inferno and all those different priests and popes that Dante put in Have you ever read Dante's Inferno, Hotties? It's literally just a hit list. It's like this one guy's like, Dante Alighieri is like, you know what? I'm gonna write a fanfic, a religious fanfic in which I put everybody I hate in hell. Throughout history as well. Not just people he knew in real life or who were like modern celebrities, but also people from history who he hated. Hello, Moonless. Welcome in. I am reprimanding all the sinners. Do not concern yourself. That is being done. Fear not. Hello, Mika. Welcome in. I'm waiting for the first spicy confession. I'm afraid you're going to have to wait for some time. There are not many spicy confessions in here. I specifically asked the Hotties to keep it PG-13. So if that's what you're here for, the door is over there, my sinner. Farewell. Dante was a generational hater. He was indeed. He gets to hang out with his favorite author. Very true. Yes, his favorite author that he loves platonically for sure. For sure he loves Virgil platonically in no other way. He wrote an entire book about Virgil being nice to him and showing him around various supernatural locales. That is definitely just a platonic relationship. Yes. Hello, my dear. Welcome in. The Hotties are not very spicy. No. It's not that the Hotties are not spicy. Trust me, there were quite a few spicy confessions in my inbox. But the Hotties are more obedient than they are spicy. And for that, I adore them. Platonically, of course. They obey me and they restrain themselves for me, and that is why they will be rewarded in heaven. Yes. Hello, Historia, welcome in. Dante's Inferno feels like one of the self-inserts. Yes, I do believe that Dante's Inferno and My Immortal have more similarities than differences, and that is my literature opinion for the day. Let me go ahead and close this poll. Yes, the well-done steak sinner is definitely a sinner. Thank you so much, jury, for your input. He wrote self-insert fanfic where his Oshi justifies his every decision. Indeed, yes. If only we were all so lucky and so adept. And then they force you to read it in high school. Isn't that fascinating? He wrote a fanfic, a self-indulgent fanfic, and then 5,000 years later, however many years, I think it's like 500. 500 years later, we force children to read it in like middle school and high school. Absolutely ridiculous. The human race, the human species is absolutely ridiculous. Hello, Patchy, welcome in. Yes, the Divine Comedy. Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy is the full title, I believe. They are the same aside from the staggering difference in prose. I don't think there's very much. If you actually read Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy and My Immortal back to back, they're actually almost exactly identical in prose, especially grammar. My Immortal, yes, I believe My Immortal should become a classic one day, and that is my sin. That is my sin, for it is a fanfic about witchcraft, and it is my one indulgence. After a full day of taking people's confessions and sweeping the floor of the church, I do retire to my chambers, and I do read My Immortal like every single chapter over and over again, and that is my sin, and that's why I am here. I am humble before the Lord. I am but a lamb before his sacrificial knife, and I offer up the information that I read My Immortal on a daily basis. Is it an audiobook? Oh, interesting, Jedi. Yeah, see? Jedi confirms this. Yes, Hotties, you're confirming it. My Immortal and Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, very similar. I read it in high school, impressive. Yes, Adrian, I did read it in high school. It was one of those many books, non-high school, of course. It was one of the many books they gave us like a choice. And I read the Divine Comedy because I thought it was going to be funny. I saw the title when I was a 15-year-old wolf. I saw the title and I said, oh, Divine Comedy, that one looks pretty fun. That looks pretty funny. And unfortunately, it turned out to be not quite funny at all. There are people buried up to their necks in sand and turned upside down for eternity. It's not very good. It goes into like descriptive torture methods the entire time. So either Dante had a very strange idea of what comedy is, or I might have understood wrong. One of the two. No, don't burn me. You can't burn me. I'm absolved in the eyes of the Lord. I'm serving him. Why do you think I'm serving him? That's right. It's because I read My Immortal constantly. I know my sins, Hotties. Unlike you, Hotties, I understand my sins. And that's why I'm here serving the Lord. To make up for this. To make up for my gross indecencies. Did they sequester you amongst the alphas, betas, and omegas? No. Wolf High School did have different cliques. That's true. Now that you mention it, Wolf High School had different cliques. There were the alphas, there were the omegas, and there were the betas, but I was kind of a lone wolf. I was sort of a lone wolf by myself. I wasn't really part of any various. I had friends in various groups, but I was never really included in any one group, so to speak. I was kind of unique. I was kind of super special and very unique, and not like the other wolves. I am serving the Lord. I am, Kano. Yes. Bossy Sigma. No, I wasn't even part of the Sigmas. The Sigmas didn't even want me in their groups. Sigma boss. All right, stop making me laugh, Hotties. It's not very becoming. All right, next judgment. Here is your next confession. Oops, I forgot to move this one over. Excuse me. I have a confession to make. I built a whole new PC for Starfield. Hell! 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 Hell, you sinner! Hell, may you rot forever in the fiery pits! May the fiery pits consume your soul and never return! A PC for Starfield! Hell to hell with you, you demon spawn! Next confession. Hi, boss. Hello. I have a confession. Back when you did the star charts, mine was super accurate. If you don't know, this sinner is talking about, we have members streams for members only, and occasionally I did a birth chart stream where I read the stars. It was in my witchcraft era. Again, I am here repenting for my sins. That's why I'm serving the Lord. I was doing a bit of witchcraft with the birth charts. I read the Hotties birth charts. It's not called a star chart, sweetie. It's called a birth chart. Except it said it was super accurate, except it said I was a sports nut. and I'm absolutely not. Thus, I hereby apologize to you and the stars for not living up to cosmic expectations. Hotties, I believe I can take care of this one. You don't need to weigh your opinion. I don't know if many of you understand what a star chart is. You are forgiven, Hottie. What you are speaking of is witchcraft, and the fact that you did not indulge in it is very good of you. And therefore, I am sending you heaven. Welcome in, sinner. Welcome to heaven. You are absolved. Rest easy. Thank you for confessing. Thank you for being open and honest with the Lord. You will be rewarded with 1,000 switch twos. Next confession. I will need your opinion on this one, Hotties. I will need your jury opinion on this one. I work afternoon evening shifts, and it's not that uncommon for me to be the last person to leave the place. Now, the nighttime bus is anything but frequent, so I sometimes spend like an hour just chilling in our cafeteria doing virtually nothing. I do not touch the timesheet before I actually leave. Is that a sin? Probably. Is that a free money glitch? Definitely. Allow me to begin the poll, jury. Vote to your heart's content. Let the Lord hear your judgment upon this, Hottie. There you are. There you are. I've given you the ability to speak your mind. Hottie, sinner, I will say this first of all. You are very presumptuous to have prematurely judged yourself. If you will turn your gaze towards the last few sentences of this confession, you say, is that a sin, question mark? Probably. You have judged yourself, sinner, and that is not how confessions work. You must open yourself before the Lord. How presumptuous of thee, how prideful of thee to assume that you can confess and then also absolve yourself of your sin. Very presumptuous. I'm sensing a bit of pride, which is one of the 7 sins. How are we feeling, Hotties? The jury is saying no, it is not a sin. The jury says 80%, 79% no. What does the other side say? Oh, 100% no. I believe the jury has spoken, sinner. I will say, here's what I will say. Lying is always bad. Lying is always bad in the eyes of the Lord. And that's why Todd Howard is going to hell. Excuse me. That is why Todd Howard is going to theoretical hell for the things that he has lied to us about. However, he did allow the Oblivion rebate to be made, and therefore I am inclined to sneak him into heaven in my luggage. That's beside the point. The idea here, sinner, is that lying is a objective evil, and you should consider honesty in all situations where you are tempted to lie. You must resist temptation at all costs, and you have given in to temptation. However, giving in to temptation itself is not the sin. Not ever asking for forgiveness, never asking for forgiveness, now that is the sin. Going your entire life assuming you never have to ask for forgiveness for what you've done, that is the sin. Falling to temptation is not the sin in of itself. It is never apologizing for falling to temptation. Therefore, with all the other factors considered, including economic factors, including the abject sin of capitalism, I would say that capitalism, sinner, has sinned more than you have. I believe that a living wage should be granted to all those who work under the boot heel of capitalism. And therefore, because capitalism's sin is so great and so pervasive throughout the ages, your sin in comparison is very, very small. I ask myself this: is the squirrel that steals the nut from the pantry doing it out of sin? No, it is doing it to survive. That's right. Therefore, I have decided you are going to heaven. You are going to heaven. There is no shame. The shame would have been if you had kept this secret forever, but you have spilled it before the Lord, and therefore he forgives you. There is no shame in trying to claw a living out of this tar pit that we call reality, out of this tar pit that we call CEOs. There is no shame in this, Hottie. Sinner, rejoice, you have been absolved. However, don't tell anyone else this or you might get in trouble. The laws of man are not the laws of God. And you have been judged accordingly. Ah. Very good. Very good. Let me close the polls here. Thank you so much for your input, jury. Thank you. Hello, TY. Welcome in. Crawling out of this Todd pit. No, I said tar pit. Yeah, hashtag not legal advice. Hold on. I think I may have erred in the ways of the bureaucracy of the church. I forgot to add something to this stream. I forgot to add something to this confessional today. Moonless, thank you very much for the subscription with Prime. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. No, not legal or religious advice. Precisely. Ramen. Pushing a fish up a tree. What does fish up a tree mean? Are you speaking in tongues now? Hotties, are you speaking in tongues? The new form of hypercam. Yes, of course. Stealing nuts is now allowed in the eyes of the Lord. No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. The context is, Hotties, like all moral quandaries, the context is very important, all right? There's a reason why Socrates' little stories are like 5 pages long. It's because 15 pages long even. He needs the setup. He needs the context. Do not take this out of, how dare you try to clip me out of context? The Lord will smite thee if you clip me out of context, you little rapscallions. Don't you dare. Yes, everything's on Minecraft, of course. Welcome in, Will. Welcome in, Fubuki. I'm so sorry if I didn't say hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome in, my lambs. My sinner lambs. Welcome in. How are you today? We are absolving ourselves of our sins. Welcome in. We are confessing. Happy Sunday. I hope it's been a restful one for you. I hope you're drinking properly, eating properly, getting your vitamins. All right. That's enough being nice. I'm tired of that. I got tired of that very quickly. Next confession. Nope, not that one. Next. Boss, please forgive me. I am a tea snob, but sometimes I let my tea steep longer than the recommended time. Please don't turn me into the tea police. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to laugh in the house of God. Sinners, Hotties, is this Hottie a sinner? Start a poll. Let your voices be heard, my Hotties. What do you think? What do you think of this sinner? What is thine thought in thine brain pan? Guilty. Hello, Captain Ron. Welcome in. That was a terrible pun. You're going to hell. Welcome in. Hi. Hello, Pims. How are you? 6 months in the electric chair. I don't know if anyone lasts 6 months in the electric chair. That's the issue, Pims. I think the flesh, the soul is willing, but the flesh is weak. Hello, Fart. Let him steep in the bowels of hell. All right, so lots of very fiery opinions about this one. God may forgive them, but I won't. Hello, Promstein. Welcome in. That is one of the things that I am always saying. How are you? You let your teep steep longer than the recommended time. So here's my issue, Hotties. Here's my issue with this confession. I have questions. How long is longer than the recommended time? Because sometimes I know some people will walk away from their teacup and forget it for 30 minutes and then come back and it's steeped for 30 minutes and it tastes like it tastes like the water you find in the puddle on a highway. Full of tar. How long are we talking here? How long do thine spaketh of? What measure of time dost thine judge this longer than the recommended time? 3 to 5 minutes is the normal steep duration. Hello, Seth. Actually, Actually, it depends on what type of tea. For white tea, which is the baby version of a green tea, it's a very small, immature green tea leaf. A white tea's steep time is 60 seconds. 60 seconds to 120 seconds. A green tea's steep time is 120 seconds to about twice that, so 240. And then a black tea's steep time is anywhere from 3 minutes to 5 minutes. So it depends on the type of tea. So let's get that straight. An herbal tea is roughly the same steeping time as a white tea. Because herbals tend to be a lot more delicate and have a lot less caffeine content, they do not require a long steeping time in order to extract all of the caffeines into the liquid. So get that straight, first of all. I know more about tea, I think, than all of the hotties in here. I don't want to brag. I'm not going to reveal anything about my private life or what I do for work, wolf work off of stream, but I will say that I know more about tea than you do. Anyway, is that my confession? I can't tell you. Stop making me laugh, hotties. It's very unbecoming of a child of God. Hello, Izzy. Welcome in. How are you today? Why did I join a tea cult? Yes, welcome into the tea cult. Humility, yes, of course. I forgot. The cardinal sin of humility. I momentarily capitulated to pride. I apologize, hotties. I will flog myself accordingly 16 to 75 times after this stream. Fear not. What is thine verdict, jury? 51% yes. And then over on the purple site, we have 77% or 10 votes no. So we seem to be a bit divided, hotties. We seem to be a tad bit divided. Now 50%. Oh, now you're just split down the middle. Well, if we factor in, if the red side, 51% on no now. If we factor in the votes from the purple side to the red side, then it would look like no is winning. Again, it depends. Again, hotties, this is a moral quandary. This is why things like religion exist. There are gray areas between the logically good and the logically bad. And I see we've stumbled into a gray area. Unfortunately, without more information, I cannot make a judgment. I am so sorry, sinner. But it seems that I will have to resort to the jury on this one. My judgment is in limbo, for without further information, I cannot deem thee hellish or heavenly. Therefore, according to the jury, you have been found innocent. I don't know if you're going to heaven, per se, because I cannot judge thee. But your people and your peers have found you to be innocent. So you may walk yet with your head high, but also perhaps consider raising the level of the tea bag after a certain number of seconds as well. Keep your chin up and also your tea bag up. Never teabag. I think you should be restricted from teabagging from now on. Yes. I think you should be mindful of your teabagging. I think you should exercise restraint when teabagging. I think that make sure, wherever you put your tea bags, make sure it is not for an extended period of time. Be very mindful of the flow of time when you are teabagging, sinner. Purgatory, yes, this person might be in purgatory, but their peers have judged them to be innocent. Ramen. Ramen indeed. Hello, Maple, welcome in. If I missed anybody, hello, welcome. Yes, you must teabag swiftly, sinner. You must change your ways from this moment on and teabag much more swiftly than you do. Yes. Pride in work and family are okay, while pride turning into overconfidence and arrogance is not okay. Very true, Thomas. Hello. Teabagging is the best part. I'm not too sure about that, dude. I think drinking the tea is the best part. But that's just me. Hello, legend. Bossy is a tea snob. Yes. Hello, Resnick. Making Bossert laugh is following. Yes, making me laugh is a sin. Yes, it is. I am a woman of God. I am a woman of God. If you make me laugh, that is a sin. There's no funnies allowed in heaven. No jokes in heaven are allowed. It's a very, very serious place. If you make a joke in heaven, you get sent to hell. Everyone knows that. No humor allowed. All right. Thank you very much, sinner, for your confession. Next. Forgive me, Sister Bossy, for I have sinned. I have committed the grave act of hypocrisy. That is right. I am one critical hippo. I try not to, but I find myself often criticizing others. I, with no knowledge of their situation, circumstances, mindset, or other factors, proceed to smugly fantasize ways how I would do it better, or how it's simple to just fix it. Whenever someone tells a historical fact, I feel a strong urge to actually them and tell them the correct fact. But then I get frustrated whenever someone does the same thing. I usually feel upset after a debate or an argument because I wasn't able to convince the other person or correct their way of thinking. Dear sister, please give me strength. And then at the bottom here, I believe this person had a stroke while writing this confession. So I hope that you are well, sinner. I hope you're recovering in the hospital. Let me just go ahead and eliminate that part. I hope you are recovering swiftly, sinner. This is quite a long one, hotties, and this is a complicated one, so I will need your opinion on this. Sinner, yes or no? Feel free to let your judgment be known, hotties. Let us break down this sin section by section. The first section implies here that this sinner is at least self-aware enough to know that they are a hypocrite, which is the first step to recovery. They think that with no knowledge of other situations, circumstances, mindset, or factors, they fantasize how they would do it better. So I believe this person is suffering from what we call hubris, which is a form of pride. Not only hubris, but it's a distinct lack of empathy to assume that one can do things better than someone else can. That is a distinct lack of both empathy and self-awareness. I think that if you look at someone and you say to yourself, if someone tells you, I am depressed, and you look at them and say, don't be. Why are you depressed? Don't be depressed. I think that you should go to a place, not hell, but you should go to a place where you need to think about what you've done. I think that everybody who says, to someone who says they're depressed, everybody who says, just don't be depressed, should go into a very small, dark room filled with spikes, and the walls close in on them very, very, very slowly. However, that is my personal opinion. I believe that what the sinner is suffering from is hubris. I think that judging others, and not only judging others, but judging others hypocritically, is a very serious offense. Again, there is a passage in the good book that says, do not throw stones. Those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. And I believe this is very applicable to this situation. If you live in perhaps examine thine self before you pass judgment. And this extends to almost everyone you meet in your daily life. For instance, if you are at the Wolf grocery store and there's a woman in front of you who is talking very loudly on her phone, and she is saying all sorts of expletives, I think rather than judging them and thinking, oh my goodness, I wish she would just shut up, rather than thinking all of that, perhaps think to yourself, I do not know this person's situation. I do not know what they're going through. They could have just lost someone they loved. They could be struggling with financial insecurity. They could be struggling with mental issues. I think whenever we encounter somebody in the wild, it is pertinent for us as children of God and children of Todd to look at each other and look at ourselves before we turn the critical lens outward. Vivi, thank you so much for the gift memberships. Welcome in. Hello. We must turn the lens of criticism inwards to ourselves before we turn it out to others. I think also that the lens of criticism, what occurs when you rely too much on the lens of criticism is if you are critical on yourself, you will be critical on others. So it is important to be both self-reflective, aka critical, but also self-forgiving. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself in order to be kinder to others. Those small flaws that you see in yourself, like, for instance, if you're having an interaction and you say, like, the waitress says, enjoy your food, and you say, you too, and she walks away with a confused look on your face. Rather than saying, oh, I'm such an idiot, rather than saying that, perhaps give yourself a bit of grace and think, well, I'm sure she hears that many, many times a day. I'm sure many other people do that. So give yourself a little bit of grace, hotties. Remember that the critical lens that you put on yourself needs tempering. It needs not to be a laser. It needs to be more of a warm light. Rather than turning the critical lens into a laser, turn it instead into a spotlight. A warm spotlight that embraces you rather than drills into your skull with a heat beam. Yes. No, not a warm laser. No, not that. Stop making me laugh. Well, what was I saying? Yes, I got lost in my soapbox. I apologize. That's prideful of me. I am so sorry. Is yapping a sin, hotties? Uh-oh, is yapping a sin? Regardless, I think that this person is on the steps to recovery. I think that they are aware that they are a hypocrite. And I think that the first step to combating your own hypocrisy is to be kinder to yourself, and then you will find that you will be kinder to others just naturally. However, the historical fact, the urge to actually people when they say historical facts, that is a demonic influence, yes. You have a history demon inside of you. You have Napoleon inside of you. You've got someone in there. It might be Julius Caesar, it might be Napoleon, it might be Nero. Somebody in there's a demon inside of you, sinner, and you must cleanse it. You must cleanse it. You must come to further confessionals. What does the jury have to say? 65% yes. Very well. What was the other poll? What was the other poll? Hello, Kaz. Welcome in. How are you? Memyoy, thank you for the 5. Appreciate that. Hi, I just saw you come in. Hello, how are you? If yapping's a sin, Bossy's the what? Excuse me, ghost. Excuse me. Hello, Scarlet Bell. Hello. Hello, Warfare. Preach, Sister Bossy. I am indeed preaching today. Welcome in. Owning a soapbox is wild considering her stance on the substance. I do enjoy soap. What do you mean? Do I not enjoy soap? I love eating it. Is that not what you're supposed to do with soap? You told me to use more soap, hotties. I've been eating more soap lately. My grandma once said we all meet someone that bests us in literally everything. It's normal to think that someone is better. Exactly, Slushy. I think that judging others should come after you have given yourself grace and after you have looked inward and been kind to yourself. However, the historical facts bit makes me think you're going to hell. So half of me thinks you're going to heaven and half of me thinks you're going to hell, sinner. I believe 67% of you said yes, going to hell. I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong, jury. In this case, I think this person has to spend a little bit more time in purgatory to learn precisely the lessons that they need to learn. Therefore, I cannot pass any judgment. Return to me in 5 to 16 months and report to me if you have learned anything. Thank you, sinner. Yes, purgatory for this one, indeed. Soap is meant to be drunk. Ah, I will dilute it in the future then. That sounds like a delicious pick-me-up in the morning. I accept my personal little history, Dagoth Stop making me laugh. That's very sinful. You bathe with soap, not eat the soap. Well, you should have told me that beforehand. Now I'm just getting upset. You told me to use more soap, so I assumed you meant eat. I don't like baths. You know this, hotties. I take showers. I don't like baths. Actually. No, don't put actually. You're getting banned for that. I mean, what? You're getting kicked out of the church for that. All right. Next confession. Forgive me, Priest Bossy. Oh, let me end the poll here. Forgive me, Priest Bossy, for I have sinned. After almost 5 years at my job, I only know the names of my manager and the 2 coworkers who sit directly next to me. The job isn't even remote. I see these people daily and just pretend to know by now. OTL. I believe that's supposed to be the sinner bowing. The O is the head, the T is the arms, and the L is the legs, right? Right? I'm not familiar with internet jargon. They don't allow phones. They don't allow internet here in the holy halls. Hello, Otto. Welcome in. They sell it at the supermarket. Sell what, Fubuki? Is that ORZ? No, OTL I think is a version of ORZ. All right, Hotties. I need your opinion on this once again. The coworkers know? Do you think the coworkers know? It does depend. Sinner, if the coworkers know your name and you do not, sinner, that changes the entire optics of this get flipped on their head. 5 years at your job? You only know the names of my manager and the 2 coworkers who sit directly next to me. That's it? Do you not see anyone else in the halls as you walk to your desk? Do you not say hello? Do you not greet them? What about the people that sit 2 seats away from you? Do you know them? 5 years. Goodness. It would have been helpful if you put in your confession whether or not you actually like this job. Because that would also be different. Do you like the environment? I assume you must not like the environment if you're not getting to know your coworkers. Maybe, perhaps, Hotties, consider this. Perhaps this sinner is just not extroverted. That could be it. This sinner could be an introvert, and that is not a sin in and of itself. I can't be bothered to learn names. Benny Drew plays 8 years. Well, 8 years is a bit unforgivable. I think you should at least try to get to know one person in your workplace. At least one, Jedi. Hello, Monkfish, welcome in. Don't hey bro me, this is a house of the Lord. No bros allowed here. Hello, Andy. This could be achievement. This is an achievement in a certain sense, yes. This is like a reverse achievement, I would say. So don't make me laugh, stop making me laugh. Hey buddy, how's it going, champ? Hello, Flightless. Oh, I see. Is that how you greet each other? You guys weren't profaning here by saying, hey, bro, in the house of the Lord. You were saying that's how you greet each other. You just say bro and buddy instead of champ? I see. So you don't actually use names when you greet each other. It's just bro, buddy, champ. Do you ever call them by their names like hello, printer, like their jobs? Hello, marketing manager. Sinner, here's what you are going to do forthwith. You are going to ask the name of every single person in your workplace, and then you're going to ask what they do here. Tomorrow, go into work tomorrow on Monday, and go to every single cubicle and ask everyone's name and ask what they do here. Write it down on a little notepad. And then if somebody ever asks, just be like, well, it's because I want to greet you properly because I realize I haven't got to know people. And then on Tuesday, here's what you do. Whenever you see them, you say, hello, marketing manager. You say, hello, printer. Hello, COO. Hello, water cooler guy. It will really make them feel as if you care for them and that you care about them and who they are. Hello, Mimyoy. Welcome in. Welcome in, sinners. How are you today? Congratulations again on debuting, Mimyoy. Welcome in. Hello, everyone. Mimyoy is my papa. Mimyoy is my rigging papa, everyone. If you are unfamiliar, please give them some support. They did a fantastic job with my rig. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Oh, on the purple side as well. Hello. Hello, sinners. Welcome in. Today we are doing a confession stream, which is a Donothon reward. The Hotties raised $8,000 for the charity No Kid Hungry, and therefore I am legally obligated, in Minecraft, to hold a confession stream. Welcome in. Hello, this is just like CK3, very true. We're literally in the Byzantine Empire. Welcome in. Don't make me laugh, that's a sin. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mimyoy. How are you today? Let me give you the wrench. There you are. Thank you, Papa, for rating me. I appreciate you. Congratulations again on your debut. All right. Welcome in, sinners. We are debating on whether or not this person here that you see on the right, their confession, whether or not it's a sin. I was advising them that instead of addressing their fellow coworkers by names, they should address their coworkers by their title and their job. I think it would make them feel much more cared for and welcomed if you said, hello PR head, hello HR, hello water bottle replacer, hello inkjet person, hi. Hello, IT. It is a quite relatable confession. I will say that it seems that this sinner might be a bit of an introvert. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's up to you. Honestly, sinner, I don't believe this is a sin. No, I believe you are going to. 66% of the jury says no, not a sinner. I believe you're going to heaven. It's not a sin to be an introvert. It is simply not a sin. It is a debuff but it is not a sin to be an introvert. That is my final ruling. The Lord hath forgiven thee for being shy. La. Very good. Thank you so much for your confession. You have been purified in the eyes of our Lord. All right. Next. Next confession. Yes. Hello, computer smacker. Yes. Hello, Nopon. Yes, I'm giving them mercy, indeed. I'm not trying to get the sinner fired. No, no, no. I don't think you should... Do bosses fire you if you don't know people's names? I don't think that is legally allowed, correct? I've been in the sisterhood for as long as I can remember. I'm an anime girl in the sisterhood, so you can imagine I don't have much office experience. Do you get fired if you don't know people's names? No. Okay. Fantastic. I hope not. Ramen. Yes, ramen. Thank you, Hotties. Thank you. It depends on the environment. Ah, I see. So if it's like a smaller office, I imagine... Maybe it's a smaller office. Maybe if you're a boss. Oh. That's an easy lawsuit if they try. All right, lawsuits. Are lawsuits holy? Stop making me laugh. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I'm so sorry, my lord. Forgiveth me. Forgiveth me my sins of laughter. No humor is allowed in heaven, I understand. No jokes are allowed in heaven. You cannot laugh in heaven. From experience, you do not. Ah, okay, very good. Very good. Thank you, Hotties, for confirming that. Is it a sin to be dumb? Hi, Neo. Thank you so much for submitting your confessions. Unfortunately, the deadline was last night, and it was inside of my Morrow inbox. So unfortunately, I cannot ask that question in good faith, because it has not been submitted to me in the most holiest of ways, aka the Marshmallow inbox. I apologize. The next guy is going to the darkest depths of heck. No, that's not true, Ghost. You're projecting. All right, let me close this poll. I believe the jury has chosen rightly on this one, Hotties. Very well. Next confession. I'm sorry. You're not my Kamiyoshi, but you're still one of my Yoshi. Thank you very much for your confession, sinner. Let us hear what the jury has to say. Oops. Sorry, I got that mixed up. What does the jury have to say? Let your voices be heard, Hotties. Let your voices ring out through the vaulted ceiling of the church. What is your opinion? Is this sinner a sinner? Stop saying /poll. I am allowed to make mistakes. I am only I'm not human. I was about to say I'm only human, but that is patently incorrect. I am a half human, half wolf hybrid from the blue moon. Heck, fire, and brimstone await. That is quite the opinion, Casteni. Let it be cast. Let it be cast in the poll. I didn't use spell check. Oh, so you're admitting to this, Dad. Oh, you're admitting to this. First of all, Hotties, while you let your voice be heard, allow me to judge this confession appropriately. First of all, sinner, you used the wrong your. And as everybody knows, slight grammar mistakes send you directly to the fiery pits of the 7th layer of hell. So you're going, I'm sorry, you've condemned yourself one way or another to go to hell. I don't make the rules. It says in the good book that if you don't do proper grammar, you're going straight to heckerinos. So unfortunately, you have doomed yourself. You used the wrong your not only once, but twice, which means you're going to extra super hell. On the subject of the confession itself, I'm sorry you're not my Kamiyoshi. First of all, I'm glad I'm not your Kamiyoshi, because if you have a Kamiyoshi that is not the Lord, then you are a sinner. There will be no Kamiyoshis above the Lord. The Creator is your Kamiyoshi. I better not be your Kamiyoshi. Our Creator, Todd Howard, our Lord and Savior, is your Kamiyoshi. How dare you implicate that there are VTubers above the Lord, above the Creator. So chew on that. Think about that. I'm glad I'm not your Kamiyoshi. I don't want to be a god. I want to be the demon that haunts you. That's another sin of mine. I apologize. I admitted to wanting to be a demon, my lord. I apologize. I don't want to be a god. Gods are bound by rules. Gods are bound by regulations. Gods have a lot of legal red tape around them and the use of their powers. I am a sister of the Lord because I wish to be the opposite of a god. And that is why I'm here resisting my urges every day of my life. I am reining myself in under the golden glow of the Lord's grace so that I might not go absolutely apeshit. No, not a cult leader. Wrong. Cults are sinful. How can you kill a god? Such a grand and intoxicating innocence, indeed. To be married to God. No, I don't want to be. I am married to God, yes. My marriage to God is the only thing that keeps my dark urges in check. It's very true. Yes, everyone pray. I would like to see the prayer emoji. I would like to see the prayer emoji in chat now. Everyone, cleanse me with your prayers. Send me your prayers. Cleanse me. Let us pray together. May Bossy not give in to her dark urges of breaking into, in Minecraft, the Bethesda headquarters and checking to see if there's any of the Elder Scrolls 6 files on their computers in Minecraft. Ramen. Thank you. Thank you for your energy. Thank you, Hotties. Prayer emoji. There you go. All right. I deem this sinner. Let us see what the jury has to say. The jury has spoken. It seems that they have judged thee a sinner worthy of hell. What about the purple site? What does the purple site have to say? Ah, they said yes as well, I believe. Well, sinner, the people have spoken. I, too, think that you, because you are, the idea of a Kamoshi being real in your mind means that you are putting an anime girl above Todd Howard, which means you are going straight to hell. Straight to hell. Enjoy the brimstone. Enjoy the brimstone. Eat it. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. I'm shoving brimstone in there. Does it burn going down? Smell the sulfur. Thank you for your confession. Thank you. Thank you, sinner. Next. This sinner says, I once steal Yu-Gi-Oh card, then get caught from my mom. Let your judgment be cast. Hotties, cast your judgment now. Cast thine judgment appropriately. Let your voices be heard. Let your voices ring out into the vaulted ceilings. Hello, Grey Knight. Welcome in. How are you? I'm sorry if I missed anyone else. Hello. How are you today? Yes, Max, keep in mind, I believe this comes from this sounds as if it comes from, I'm not going to be judging. Again, I only judge sins. I do not judge, I do not judge sentence structure. I only judge grammar. But it seems that this sentence structure is quite familiar to us, isn't it, Hotties? This might be from a fellow that you know very well that pops up in our chat occasionally, who I always ban on sight. So keep that in mind when you make your judgment. Actually, no, Hotties, no. We must resist temptation. The person behind the sin is not the important bit. It is the sin itself. We must divorce the sinner from the sin and judge the sin only. That's a paddling? We don't do paddles here. There's only whips. Which car? Do you think that's important, Sleepy? I don't think it's very important. Are you confused, Hotties? It's alright if you're confused. Just judge the sin. Do not judge the sinner. Hellfire for all eternity. Now, Maple, that's rather drastic of you. One card from a store. Yes, we're lacking critical details, aren't we? We're lacking critical details for this confession. I once steal Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so I assume that that's not multiple cards. It is a one card, and then get caught from my mom. I'm imagining a scenario where a young child goes into a card shop with their mother and smuggles away a pack underneath their hoodie, and then their mom catches them. That is the scenario I have cooked up in my veritable brain pan. I think here, if it's just one card, and they got caught, I believe, that, especially by their mother, I believe they have already served their time. Hotties, everyone is saying yes. The jury is saying yes, that they are a sinner. But consider this, they got caught by their mother. I would say on average, most mothers are very prone to, shall we say, punishment. Punishment prone parents, I would say. Most parents would at least punish their children if they stole something. I know that mine certainly did. So I am hoping that there was proper repercussions for what this person did by stealing a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Who is that? Unipu, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, sinners. How are you today? My name is Bossymoon, and we are doing a Donothon reward. We are judging the Hotties' sins. How are thee? How fare thee? Happy Sunday. I hope it was a restful one. If you need to raid around, get some food and water, I totally understand. Take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. I hope your stream's going well. It is, Uni. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for trusting me with your community. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. This is not my usual outfit, I assure you. We're missing context. I believe this. I believe this. I believe that the jury is judging too hastily. You're judging too hastily. The context is lacking here. They say they got caught from my mom, so presumably they got punished. They have already atoned for their sins here, Hotties. The fact that they are saying that they are confessing to it again means that they still feel bad. So they are shackled by the weight of guilt. Every day they have labored under the guilt of what they have done from so many years ago. Have they not suffered enough? How much suffering is enough suffering, Hotties? This is a moral question for the likes of Aristotle. How much suffering is enough? Hello, Potato. Welcome in. Hello, Roundish. I suppose he stole a card from another kid during a game. Oh, perhaps it was a game. Well, if it's a game with defined rules, then that's doubly bad. That's even worse. I believe bro has already, as the Lord once spaketh, bro has already atoned for his sins. They do still remember it, exactly. They do still remember it, so the punishment must have been quite severe. I believe you have spaketh too hastily, jury. And I have decided that if we divorce the sin from the sinner and pretend not to know who sent in this confession, I will say that they are going to heaven. I think that living with your guilt is penance enough, and the Lord forgives. However, I know who sent this. I know who sent this. And there's a special seat in the lowest level for you. It's got spikes on the chair. It's got spikes on the butt part of the chair. It's got a lot of spikes, and the spikes are superheated and covered in itching powder. The rest of the chair is covered in itching powder. And you're completely naked when you sit on this chair. I am merciful, am I not, Hotties? I'm quite merciful. Next confession. While I was on uni, me and some friends found a few expired pepper sprays on a bin nearby, and we took some of them to us to play with it. While in our free time between classes, they said that they would pay $10 each one if I pepper sprayed my wabbajack, and I did. After I sprayed for 2 to 5 seconds, it began to burn so much that my entire groin got red, and I had to rush to the dorms to wash the magic staff with milk and vinegar. And up to this day, only me and those 3 friends know about it. What is your verdict, Hotties? Are they a sinner? I have opinions of my own, but I would like to see what you think. Let your voice be heard, Hotties. Hello, XP, welcome in. Hello, Pata. How are you today? They felt the hellfire already, you think? Bro had his punishment, you think? Let me counter-argue this, Hotties. Let me point out a very important clue that you may have overlooked. Some of you might not be using your thinking caps. Or your thinking habits. If you notice, Hotties, this person did all of this for $30. For $30. $30. Now, I'm not saying stupidity is a sin, Hotties. I would never say that. But I am saying a distinct lack of brain cells might be an issue. Jim, thank you very much for the 5. Bro paid for someone else's sin. I don't know about that, but thank you. He paid $30 to spray his wabbajack with pepper spray. He got paid $30. I believe that even those with the least brain cells among us are entitled to live their lives. I will not be one of those presumptuous pseudo-intellectual people who say that only the smart should survive. I think there is a place for the himbos and the bimbos. I believe the world is a better place with both cheese and crackers. PB and J. Polar opposites are a delicious texture in our reality. And I believe that this person is a necessary component of reality. Don't laugh. Their lack of forethought, their complete and utter lack of brain cells and forethought and rational thinking and logical conclusion and A to B type cause and effect, causal affectations. The causal affectations, the lack thereof in this sinner's mind should be taken into consideration. I believe that if you sin because you have 1.5 brain cells left, is that really a sin, Hotties? If you sin without knowing any better, does a worm sin? Does a worm sin when it eats dirt? When it crawls across your shoe and tries to eat the dirt on your shoelace, does a worm sin? When a rat crawls into your kitchen to eat a piece of cheese, does it sin? When a slime from the Dragon Quest series slimes up your carpet so good, does it sin? Nay, it is following its instincts. I believe that a creature's instinct is neither good nor evil if it does not know better. I believe instinct is not a sin if it does not have 3 brain cells to rub together. However, if you know what you're doing is wrong, then you're a sinner. And you do it anyway? Yes, sin. Absolute sin. God would still love his creatures if they were worms. Exactly. We must ask ourselves, Hotties, would God love us if we were worms? If we were all worms who sprayed our peebuses with pepper spray? Does God smile down upon the creature that sprays thine pubis with pepper spray? Yes, he smiles. No comedy allowed in heaven, however. He does not laugh. God does not laugh. He smiles, but he does not laugh. He smiles justly, yes. Therefore, I will consult the jury. It seems no is a resounding agreement. No. You have voted no, jury. And I am inclined to agree with you. Heaven. Heaven for the hottie with spicy pubis. Heaven for this sinner whose pubis is forever altered. May you go to heaven, and may in that heaven your pubis be less inflamed. May our gooch be distinctly less spicy in heaven than it is on earth. Ramen. Ramen. Next confession. I confess to having a fling with the blue moon. I am not proud of it, but as a cosmic entity engaged in eternal war, I don't meet that many people. I still support your cause, but just wanted to make it clear that if the blue moon tries to make me look like an undercover traitor. For those of you who do not know, I am a Blue Moon Wolf Gang leader. Allow me to introduce myself. Rough and tough. My name is Bossymoon, and I'm the leader of the Blue Moon Wolf Gang here to force you to do crimes. Except today, I am a sister of the Lord. I am the wife of the Lord, and a sister of the church. The Blue Moon is our eternal enemy. We are fighting the Blue Moon constantly. We are reaching. I am firing the Hotties out of cannons directly at the Blue Moon to try and destroy it. The Blue Moon itself is an eldritch entity that has 10,000 eyes and opens its mouth at non-Euclidean angles. And it birthed me. However, it also abandoned me, and that is why I must destroy it. This sinner is confessing to having an affair with the Blue Moon. An affair with our mortal enemy. I will let the jury's voices be heard. Let your voices be heard. I am objective. I am objective in this sentencing. I mean, absolving. I am very objective. This hottie has cheated and had intimate relations with the Blue Moon that birthed me. Yes, that's right. My mother. This hottie has had relations with my mother. Big brain recon. Wrong. I'm not objective, but I am correct. No, I am both objective and correct, Soli. Welcome in. Hello, ABC. Burn him. Yes. I mean, no. We are objective. Hotties, we must divorce the sin from the sinner. We must judge only the sin, not the sinner. If this sinner was not a hottie, then I could care less what they do with the Blue Moon. But this sinner, no, this sinner is a hottie. No, I must fight. I must fight the urge to condemn them forever. I must remain objective. I am a sister. I am a sister of the Lord. I mean, the wife of the Lord. And a sister of the Holy Church. You, sinner, have engaged in intimate relations with an eldritch entity from beyond. While that is not witchcraft, it does go against the principles of our Lord and Savior, Todd Howard. You have intentionally used console commands in order to kiss a creature that also used console commands. You have essentially sword art online yourself in order to kiss an eldritch entity. Your devotion is notable. It is very difficult to make out with a Cthulhu-esque being. There are many eyes and many holes. So the fact that you managed to successfully have a, shall we say, rendezvous with this thing is a testament to your determination and your keen perception. The fact that you were not immediately driven mad upon capturing the visage of the blue moon speaks volumes, and I am indeed quite terrified of your psychic willpower. However, because of your little tryst, you have created the potentiality within the timeline for me to have a sister or a brother. This would now make you my stepfather. Therefore, you are family. And I can no longer shoot you out of a cannon at the blue moon. You have made your choice, sinner. You have had rendezvous with an eldritch entity, and you have put yourself above the ranks of the hotties. You are no longer a hottie. That's right. You are my stepfather now. But don't worry. Don't worry, stepdad. I have good news for you. Let us see what the jury says. Yes. 83% yes, sinner. 76% yes, sinner. I have good news for you, stepfather. Very good news indeed. In the fires of hell you will be reborn. In the fires of hell you'll be reborn. You will be given a chance once your corporeal form has been eaten away by the hellfires. And you will be reborn again and given a second chance to become a hottie once more. Fire purges all, and it will purge you of your sin. Ramen. Thank you for your judgment, Hotties. I suspected we were on the same page all along, and indeed we were. Hello, Mantu, welcome in. Are those really good news? Yes, it is good news. It is good news indeed. By going to hell and passing through the hellfires, you may be reborn. You are no longer my stepfather, sinner. Rejoice. You are now just a regular hottie. If you frick my mother again, I will send you to super hell. Never do it again. Next confession. Forgive me, Miss Bossymus Maximus Munimus. That's not my name. For I have sinned. I have frequently and consistently been oblivious to the romantic pursuits of others, and often inadvertently snubbed the well-meaning advances of the fairer sex. My most egregious example of such behavior may be the time during graduation. I was invited to help a fellow classmate get something out of her van, and it may take a bit. And while I did eventually go, so worried about missing the ceremony and so callous to her advances as I was, I not only called attention to the absurdity of her request, but also mocked the very premise. Needless to say, nothing of note occurred after that display. Oof. Oof. I'm sorry, let me compose myself. I would like to say that I have gotten better with this particular peculiarity of my personality as I've aged. But according to my friend group, my progress has been middling at best. So while I may not procure true forgiveness, perhaps I may be able to perform a penance and receive absolution from the boss. Jury, let your voices be heard. Hello, Moma, and welcome in. How are you today? I'm sorry if I didn't say hello to anyone else who came in. Hello. You're sneaking into the back of the pews there. It's hard to see you back there. Why do the pearls on my habit keep disappearing? I'm not sure. Must be the work of the devil. Let your voices be heard, Hotties. Let your voices ring out in judgment upon this sinner. Fumbling is a sin. Hello, Emo. Is it? I am a nun. I am the wife of the Lord. I don't know what fumbling is. Art is not a sin. Art? As the Lord says, thou must not have riz lest you succumb to the temptation of lust. Incorrect. That is not in the Bible. I've read it. I read it one time. The fumble god. Social ineptitude is not a sin. You make very compelling points, Hotties. However, I need you to take your shoes off and step into the shoes of this girl. For a moment, Hotties, I need you to detach your soul from your corporeal form. Remove your perspective from your own skull and transplant it into the perspective of this young girl. Now look with fresh eyes. Open your eyes and observe the world around you. What do you see, Hotties? Tell me. Hello, Vi. Welcome in. Hello. Okay, done. What have you seen? Describe it to me, Hotties. What do you feel? She hath suffered, indeed. She hath suffered. Air. No, wrong. What do you feel? Girl dodged a bullet. I'm not sure about that. There's no mention of guns in this confession. Who has the cranial bone saw? I believe the hottie in the back, Vi, if you need help. If you need help trepanning yourself, just ask another hottie. They're very skilled at that. Hey, I like you is easy to say. He is the rizless one, indeed. Humiliation, indeed. You feel humiliated. This girl, who no doubt, I am quite sure, had a crush on this sinner for quite some time. One does not simply invite one to a van. If I was not a woman of the cloth, I would presume to assume that one does not invite one to a van to help out, and it might take a while, without having considered the fullness of their attraction towards the other person. I presume, especially when you're young. Especially when you're very young. I believe that love is a little bit more innocent when you're that age. So this girl no doubt had a crush on you, sinner, for quite some time. And then, when she tried to invite you to the van in order to maybe perhaps confess, not even do anything, there was probably no sin going on here. She probably maybe just wanted to get a moment alone. You don't know. There might have not been any corporeal sin at all. She might have just been trying to get you alone to tell you her feelings. And instead, you griped the entire time about missing the graduation ceremony. Now, a little bit of clemency is going to be given to you for the sole fact that you were also quite young. I assume that you were also quite young in this scenario, so clemency is warranted here. Important to consider. Let us see what the jury has to say. No at 83%, not a sinner, and no at 92 on the purple side. I see. A fumble, but not a sin. Ah. I believe, sinner, that you have hurt her feelings. You did hurt her feelings. But however, the fact that you remember hurting her feelings means that you are atoning for it every day. Clearly the guilt of what you did, you recognize now. You have grown wise in your older years, in your elderly years. You've grown very wise, and you're looking back on your life as it flashes before your eyes. And I believe that you now understand, you now have perspective, and you're now regretting various things. And the regret is a greater penance than any whip or any chain can give. Therefore, in my infinite wisdom, you are going to heaven. You are not a sinner. You did sin, but you are not a sinner. You are going to heaven. And I hope that you meet that girl again up there, and I hope she asks you into her angel van. And I hope this time you do the right thing and kiss the hell out of her, or the heaven out of her. I hope you make out so good in heaven. Ramen. Next confession. Food sin. I get a craving for a tuna, sweet corn, and onion wood-fired pizza every month without fail, and succumb to my urges. Ramen. I don't need the jury's opinion on that one, I think. Tuna? Next. Was that? Oh, don't even show me that one again. I despise the very look of it. Next sin. I ate the last slice of cake from a family member's birthday, and my sister said she'd take the blame. I still feel guilt for that, and it was like 20 years ago. Good cake, though. Now, Hotties, this one's a bit more complex. This is not as straightforward as our last one. I'm going to need to hear your voices. Rise up in agreement. The majority must speak. Is this a sinner? Let your opinions ring out. Let the court of public opinion speak in this church. If it was a good cake worth it, you're a sinner, Chunky. You're a sinner! How dare you? Sister is a true bro. No, she's a sister. He's done penance. No, he has not. Read it carefully, Hotties. Before you formulate an opinion, read it carefully. Read between the lines and outside of the lines and also in the lines, and you will see that this sinner is an unrepentant sinner. That's right. Not only did this person take the last slice of cake from a family member's birthday, but they do not show any remorse. The final line is the nail in the coffin here, Hotties, or in this case, the nail in the Iron Maiden. Read that last line very closely. Good cake, though. 3 simple words, and yet 3 words that betray how you truly feel, sinner. You do not feel any remorse. You remember this event for 2 reasons. Because your sister took the blame. How dare you forcing your sister to take the blame? And also that the cake was good. You do not remember your wrongdoing in the slightest. You put more emphasis on the fact that you sacrificed your innocent sister on the stone. On the stone. She threw herself on the fighters for you. How dare you? And all you can say is good cake, though. The fact that you say you feel guilt, but do you really? Do you really if you end the confession with good cake, though? Or are you still thinking about how delicious it was? Do you truly feel guilt? Are you lying to me, sinner? Are you lying? Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes in despair. Oops, not that one. Nope, not that one. Where is my... Nope, not that one. Nope, definitely not that one. Where are my evil glowing eyes? Damn it! Look away. Look away. I lost my glowing eyes. Do you really feel guilt? Or are you lying to me? Choose your answer carefully. I smell the scent of a rancid lie in this confession, Hotties. What is your judgment? Yes, at 51%. What did you think, Purple Sight? Ah, yes, as well, 72%. I am going to condemn you, sinner, to hell. How dare you? Your little sister trusted you. Your sister, maybe it was your big sister, I'm not sure. Your sister trusted you. She sacrificed herself for you, and all you can revel in is the taste of the cake 20 years later. That little twinge of guilt, that's nothing compared to the delicious taste of the cake still dancing on your tongue, isn't it? You still taste that cake every night, don't you, sinner? Don't you? Don't lie to me. Ramen. Another sinner for the boiling pot. Well done. Well done, Hotties. Very well done. Next confession. Allow me to take a sip of my tea. Condemning people is very thirsty work. Hello, Engineer Doomscroll. Sorry to hear you went to hell. He gets 5 big booms. No, he gets no booms. There is no booms. There are no booms in heaven or hell. I'm sorry. Anyway, welcome in. Hello. A lot of people are going to hell. Well, that is in the nature of your confessions, Hotties. I have no control over that. All I do is judge thee accordingly. Silence! We will hear the next confession now. When I was 9 years old, I set my Animal Crossing tune. Sorry, let me try this again. When I was 9 years old, I set my Animal Crossing town tune to Bad Touch by the Bloodhound Gang. I wasn't aware of the implications. I thought it was just a silly music video from the internet about animals. The only lyrics I knew were from the chorus. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. So let's do it how they do on the Discovery Channel. I thought it meant running around and playing. My poor villagers had to listen to that, hear that every day for years. Hotties, you know what to do. Spake thine truth unto the world, and the world will reply. Let me hear your opinions, and take them into my consideration as judge on this day. He was but a child, please have mercy. No mercy. No mercy. Hello, Framdring, welcome in. Hello. Hello, Snacker. Innocence of a child. Wrong. Excuse me. You can't convince me. No. They were innocent. Wrong! Hotties, we must once again remove your brains. We must remove your brains and put them inside of the body of the Animal Crossing villagers. For a moment, shed your corporeal forms and come with me on a spiritual journey into the world of Nintendo's Animal Crossing universe. You are a villager on an island. You are trapped in a video game, and you know that you are trapped in a video game. You are only ever aware and awake when the video game is turned on. You are going about your daily tasks. You are farming, you are gathering fruit, you are giving presents, you are having fun and playing on the beach. And then when you go to sleep, what do you hear one day? What do you hear? That's right. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it how they do on the Discovery Channel. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but over and over and over. And you think to yourself, oh, somebody must be having a house party next door. Perhaps it'll end, but it doesn't end. It goes on forever. You get no sleep that night. You wake up the next day. You're having breakfast at your little table. That's right. You know what you hear? You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. So let's do it how they do on the Discovery Channel. Over and over and over and over. You finish your cereal, you get up, you go to the mailbox, it's still playing, louder this time. You go to Tom Nook's, guess what? That's the source of the noise. And it's going, you and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it how they do on the Discovery Channel. You're trying to get your mail, you're trying to get your groceries from Tom Nook's corner. Consider like a grocery store, but instead of the fun little music that they play, it's full blast, that over and over and over and over. Open your mind's eye. Open your eyes. Open your spiritual eyes and consider that your perception is not the only perception in this reality. Consider the perception of the Animal Crossing villagers and ask yourself, is it worth it? Was there a sin here? It's a bop. That is irrelevant. Whether or not it is a good song is irrelevant as to the sin. Divorce the sinner from the sin. What do you say, jury? Sinner, no, 70%. I'm disappointed. What do you say, Red Site? Sinner, no, 72%. I'm disappointed. You cannot see the truth of the matter even though it's right before your own eyes, hotties. You have been beguiled by the devil. The devil that is comedy. There are no jokes in heaven, hotties. There are no jokes allowed in paradise. None of this is funny. None of this is funny. Let me end the poll. Let me end it so that you may not speak thine truth any longer. For it disappoints me. It seems that we are evenly matched, hotties. We, on one end of the judgment scale, I would like to say hell. But on the other end of the judgment scale, the overwhelming majority of your peers, sinner, says heaven. Not guilty. Therefore, the scale itself, like Anubis? Like Thoth's weighing of the heart against the feather. I know, I'm speaking heresy. Like Thoth weighs your heart against a feather, so too do the hotties weigh your heart against the sin that I believe is irreconcilable. And therefore, I condemn you to purgatory. That's right. Because you are a child does not absolve you of sin. No. Everyone knows that you can make full and informed decisions when you are a child. Everyone knows that the brain is fully developed and everything you do as a child is very logical. All the decisions you make are fully informed when you are a child, and therefore children can sin. That is correct. Ramen. Enjoy purgatory. That was a joke. Don't say what, that was a joke. It's called hyperbolic comedy. That was, obviously kids can't make, obviously. Where did you get that info? I saw it. I read it. Next confession. When I was a kid playing Oblivion, I would get as many... Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't a joke. I'm sorry. Right. No, that wasn't a joke, Hotties. There are no jokes in heaven. I would never joke. I would never goof. I would never blow something out of proportion in order to shed light on how absolutely absurd that notion is. I would never do that. Never. Of course not. When I was a kid playing Oblivion, I would get as many black soul gems as possible. Then while doing the Dark Brotherhood quest lines, I would cast Soul Trap on every mark and kill them with a unique weapon, which I would then enchant using their soul to permanently bind them to the weapon used to kill them. Surely Mephala would be proud. Now, Hotties, this is a judgment that requires intimate knowledge of a niche subject, although not quite as niche anymore since Todd Howard remastered Oblivion, and everybody and their mom is now playing it. Sinner, question mark? Let your voices be heard, Hotties. Is this a sin? Or not? This guy does good work. What? Work? I think you mean crimes. Mephala, not Sithis. Indeed, I believe this is... I am under the personal belief that if, in my younger years, I was not a woman of God, but a woman of Todd. And I knew all about the different Daedric lords and Daedric princes. I was very intimate with them. Or, I mean, I had very intimate knowledge of them. And I believe this is more of the realm of Sithis than anything. Perhaps even Molag Bal. Giving out legendary items. No, not W forgiven, simply. It is creative and it is over the top. We can say that much, Gray. There's RP and there's a cry for help. Is that how you feel, Hotties? Let us look at the jury. What does the jury say? 55% of you have said yes so far. Let your voices be heard, Hotties. Vote. Cast thine vote in this holy council. Let me sip my tea for a moment. My throat has gone dry with the Lord's words. Well, that was my earlier days, Hotties. I no longer force you to do crimes. I'm a reformed woman. Yes. I'm very holy now. How does Sithis vote? I believe Sithis would vote yes. But Sithis love sinners. Alright, Hotties. The poll has been cast, the die have been set, and it seems that 59% of you have said yes, this person is a sinner. What do we see on the purple site? 73% of you on the purple side have said no. Fascinating. However, if I tally up the appropriate votes, it seems that even with the added purple side votes, yes still wins. If I'm doing the math correctly. Now here's my opinion on it. Sinner, look me in my eyes. Are you a serial killer? Sorry, I had to ask that. When you were doing this as a child? You were doing this as a child? Let me ask you this again. Do you open a lot of Cheerio boxes and do you stab a lot of Cheerio boxes repeatedly? The unnecessary cruelty of this. Yes, legally you must tell me if you're a serial killer. Because if you are, then this makes sense. If you are, it is again, we are judging the sin, not the sinner. If you have done this, oh, that's a good point. It's irreverent, Hotties. Forgive me, I misspoke. It's irreverent whether or not this person is a serial killer. What matters is their sin itself. You would cast Soul Trap on every single mark and kill them with a unique weapon, and then enchant the weapon with their souls, thereby tying their soul into the weapon forever. And then I assume naming that weapon after them? That is quite evil. I believe, here's the thing. I'm going to measure this based on whether or not God would do this or the big man downstairs would do this. And I'm going to have to say, Sinna, that this is something that probably the big man downstairs would do more than God. I believe you are a worthy disciple of the big man downstairs. I believe he would love to have a little chit-chat with you. You bound their souls eternally into the metal of the weapons. They can never leave. They're stuck there forever. Forever. Hello, Heron. Thank you for the first time chat. Welcome in. Now, granted, this is better than burning Barbies. When I was that age, I had not quite yet encountered Oblivion. So what I would do instead is I would cut off Barbie's limbs with my scissors. And then I would burn their hair. So, again, we are going back to our previous confession, Hotties. We must look inward. We must point the critical lens inward. We must both forgive ourselves and point the critical lens inward. Instead of a laser, it is a warm spotlight. I will not cast stones, for I am living in a glass house. Your sin, sinner, is better than mine. You are less sinful, I believe, than me, than Small Bossy, because Small Bossy destroyed a piece of plastic that took work to make. So I have destroyed something that someone else created. It's a waste of plastic, a waste of polypropylene. It's a waste of synthetic fibers like rayon and nylon and all that. You, however, have wasted nothing. In fact, you use the entire animal, so to speak. From start to finish, farm to table. You farm to table Oblivioned this. Yes, you killed them, put their soul in a gem, used it to enchant, and then named them. You used every part of the animal. And for that, I will congratulate you. There's not a speck of waste in this sin. However, it's still a sin. It's still a sin. I'm not sending you to hell, sinner, because you did an extremely bad thing. I'm sending you to hell because I think the big man downstairs would love to meet you. I think you two would get along swimmingly. I think you're going to be among your kind down there. And that's why I'm sending you to hell. Not because you've earned it, but because that's simply where you belong. Ramen. If you say I prefer udon one more time, Ghost, I will ban you from this church. I will. Don't make me laugh. Ramen! Say ramen right now. Say it! I'm holding the whip. I'm holding the cat of nine tails. Don't you dare say udon. Don't you dare say spaghetti. It's ramen in this church. No, not Sukimen. Hi, hyena, welcome in. Next confession. Confession of sin. One time, when playing Phasmophobia with a friend, I hosted a private game. And when I was going to send him the code, I assumed that I had clicked on the copy code button. But instead, I had something very different in store for him. Without a thought, I immediately Control-V'd and hit the send button. As I did so, I then saw a link to a lewd website that I wouldn't normally want to share with anybody. So of course, in my panic, I tried to remove the message, but it was far too late. Now I'm forever roasted when I host games with codes. Jury, you know what to do. Let your voices ring out. If someone doesn't understand the sin, please describe it to them. Please help your fellow hottie out. If they're confused, please help your fellow hottie out. In a PG-13 way. Sinner, you are guilty of a multitude of sins. This confession reeks with the dark sludge of sin. The first one is the obvious one, lust. Clearly, you are engaging in activities the Lord does not smile upon. Not only that, but you spread this sin to your friends, who I am sure were completely innocent up until this point in time. You are guilty of lust and also spreading lust to the completely innocent. The second sin, and perhaps the most grievous, is that you are a shit gamer. Every gamer worth their salt knows to double check the invite code. Microsoft has gone downhill in the years leading up to 2025. And every gamer worth their salt knows to copy the invite code twice. Which tells me that you've been slacking, gamer. You've been slacking on your gamer homework, gamer. Do better. Get good, as the Lord says in the Bible. He said that. Yes, the sin of sloth. Yes. And not only that, there's a third sin here, Hotties. They tried to remove the message. That's right. They tried to conceal their sin. The sin of sloth and lust, they tried to conceal it and pretend as if it never happened. Thankfully, their innocent friends held them accountable and still do to this very day by roasting them whenever they play a multiplayer game. You have very good friends, sinner. Very innocent friends as well. Locked sin instead of locked in. Yes, sir. They've locked sin instead of locking in. Never make that mistake, gamer. As Hannibal Lecter once said in an epic rap battle, I don't mind that you're naughty, Jack. I hate that you're sloppy. Precisely. You got caught and you tried to hide it. Perhaps the worst sin of all. Treachery. What do you say, jury? What does those thine voices say towards thee? Yes! 55% of you have said yes, this person is guilty. Over on the purple side, we have no at 11% again. It seems that the purple side and the red side are forever at odds. Interesting. However, even with the calculations of the 11 votes on the purple side, no is losing by 44% on the red side. And if I do preliminary math, which anime girls are very good at, I would have to say, according to my basic math skills, yes still wins with 69 votes. Perfectly split down the middle. What is math? Hello, Isaac. Welcome in. My take on this is not only have you done one sin. You thought I was going to judge you only for the sin of lust. No, there's a sin of sloth here. And if treachery was a sin, you would be also accused. Not only did you do two sins, you tried to cover up. You tried to cover them up. And clearly not well enough. So again, sloth strikes here. Hell! Hell! Hell for corrupting others. Hell for corrupting others with your sinful material. Going to hell! Also, you used an Ouija board in Phasmophobia, didn't you? I'm pretty sure that's against the rules! Hell! And never come out! Ramen. Hello, General. Welcome in. And now, my lambs, we have the final confession here today. The last It has been an honor having you within my house. I hope you learned much about your own sin and how to absolve it if you so wish. The last confession is as follows. I must confess, I have called Bossymoon cute multiple times in a single stream. I even sent a Streamlabs message that made Bossy read out that she was cute. Am I forgiven, Sister Bossy? Ramen. Lamoro, thank you very much for your tithe today. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the house of the Lord. Thank you very much. Arigato. You will be whipped approximately one less time today than the rest of the hotties. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming out today. I hope you had a restful time in my house. I hope you take this inner peace going forward into your week. It was an absolutely lovely time. I had, dare I say, bunches of fun. I never laughed once, though, so I'm still pure within the eyes of the Lord. There was no comedy, no humor to be had here. We all did a very good job of remaining completely straight-faced and very normal. Didn't we? Yes, that's right. I will see you tomorrow for Morrowind Mondays. I believe I'm hanging up my habit for now and going back to Vardenfell, where sin runs abundant. I once more must submerge myself in the sins of Todd Howard's beautiful, beautiful game. Thank you very much for coming by. If you're curious, we are doing this confession stream. This is not a normal thing that happens. This is actually a reward that the hotties earned by donating $8,000 to the No Kid Hungry Foundation. The least I could do was listen to your sins for all the good that you have done for hungry children. Thank you very much again. My usual schedule is Monday we play Morrowind, Wednesday we play Dark Souls, and Friday we play Fallout. We are a Bethesda forward channel here, so if that interests you at all, I am shilling myself now. Lord, forgive my greed. My rampant greed on display here. But I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, those 3 games, and then we have variety content on the days in between. Next week, I will be at Offkai. I will be doing several meet and greets for Offkai, if you would like to come visit me there. Hello, Dia Fortuna, welcome in. Bossert Boobert, are you here to confess your sins of intelligible writing? Welcome in. I will see you next week for a week of fun. Next week is off Kai as well, so if you're going, I will be there. Be sure to stop by and say hi. The times will be posted in the Discord, on YouTube, and on my Twitter as well. I know I have technology. I know I lied. I do have a phone. I sneak it when the priest isn't looking. I look at Twitter when the priest isn't looking. But don't tell him I said that. I think I might be a very sinful sister. Aren't I, Hotties? I'm very sinful. Yes. Well, don't worry. I will make penance on my own time. And with your help. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow. I will raid you into someone else if you need more entertainment. And until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of others. Make sure you get a good meal today. Drink some water. Get good rest. And until then, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.